my God. The East is in the house. Oh my God. The East is in the house. Oh my God. The East is in the house. Oh my God. The East is in the house.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jermaine Avery, Michael Cash, and Trevis Willingham, and we are the Talking NFC Beast. How y'all doing, fellas?
I'm doing fantabulous there, brother Avery.
Mr. Trevis?
Still doing fantastic over here. No problem.
I hear you. I'm gonna start this off a little bit different this week. In fantasy football, I lost a bet to a gentleman.
Oh shit! I thought we had a no fantasy rule on TNB.
Well, hey, it's no fantasy. I'm not going to talk about what the score was. I'm not going to talk about any of that. So, in that bet, being the gentleman that I am, right, I had to pay up my bet. And what I'm going to do is pay up the bet now, real quick. He is a Cowboys fan. And the bet was, if his team wins, he had to wear a Redskins t-shirt.
Oh, shit.
If my team won, if he won, I had to wear a Cowboys shirt.
I like fantasy football.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hold on.
No.
Like I said, being the gentleman that I am, Melvin Clark, I paid my bet.
Represent.
I'm not
represent on TNB, baby.
Please.
Represent.
Oh my God.
What's your boy name, man?
I'm not telling you his name.
I just want to give him a shout out, man. That man need to have his name called on air.
Wow.
His name is Kevin Clark. It's my homie. We went to high school together. It's my brother-in-law. He's a good guy.
Kevin Clark, from one Cowboys fan to another, you my dog. You a good brother. We're happy.
Whatever.
Fire, good brother.
Fans, you see it all on NFC Beast. You see it all. You have just seen a Redskins fan don a Cowboys shirt.
Hold up.
Woo!
Read them boys.
Like I said, I'm gonna get my word, paid the bet. I'm gonna live up to it, and being the gentleman that I am, I've served my bet, and that's it.
Hey man,
that's it. That's it right here on Talking NFC.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Wow.
I'm not. Let's move on because I'm burning. My skin is burning with this shirt on right now.
But just make your blood boil.
Yeah. It was an exciting week in the NFL for the NFC East. You know, a lot of good matchups. Some not as favorable as others, but I want to go ahead and set it off and get the easy ones out the way so we can spend more time on the ones that make more sense.
No doubt.
Right into the Giants and Oakland. Let's jump right into it, fellas. What do y'all think?
Yo, what was the score on that one?
The final score was 24 Oakland, 17 Giants.
Oh, okay. And then, you know, the first time that you have a black quarterback actually go out there and play, he does okay. I'm not going to say that he did horrible. He did okay. He did enough for them to actually score, which is actually more points than the Giants have been scoring all season. But what I will say about that particular game, Oakland looked very bad in that game. I don't know if they were playing down to the Giants or what have you. For all of the Giants' power players not to be on the field, Oakland kind of played down. And for them to actually be in the playoff hunt right now with Kansas City being 6-6, them being 6-6, and you know, the Chargers being 6-6 is quite amazing. But
no, it ain't amazing. It's a joke.
Yeah. So, but you know what? They may end up actually, because I think they beat Kansas City. They may actually end up in the top seed of the playoffs for their division.
Hey, remember the beginning of the season? It just goes to prove how nobody really knows how the heck things gonna play out. We thought the AFC West was gonna be the toughest division in football.
Yes, we did.
We were
because of last year's play.
And we were dreading, having the NFC East matching up against the AFC West. And now look at how it's played out this season.
Well,
crazy.
I don't know because we still taking L's to that division though. That's a particular problem that we're having right now. We're still taking L's to that division.
Yeah.
I know. Washington beat the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
We beat KC. I think y'all beat the Chargers. The Eagles beat.
Yes, we beat the Chargers.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like it's balancing out. I think.
Yeah, it's close. It's very close.
We beat the Chargers. We lost to KC, and who's the third person in their division?
The Raiders, Chargers, KC, Raiders.
Not Rams. Broncos.
Yeah. Shit. We
got. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. We beat the Broncos. We lost to KC. We beat the Chargers. All we got left is the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. And y'all should handle them.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now where, if we get back on our horse and everybody start to grow up on our team, and stop fucking dancing jigs, we should be okay. We should be pretty good. I'm really not worried about the Raiders at all at this particular instance, but if they stop feeling themselves for a little bit, just like somebody doing things a little bit too much, they get spanked. But when push comes to shove and you look at this Raiders-Giants game, it was kind of like a tally of, who wanted the game for a little while. And then all of a sudden the Raiders said, well, we do. And they won the game. And then afterwards with the conversation with Gino and him talking about an old coach, you tripping, dog. You should just let that be for what it was. He was talking about his old coach, Rex Ryan. Yeah, he was talking about his old coach. It was like, why would you bring up your old coach? It was your moment. You're the first black quarterback for that particular team. You're the last black quarterback in the NFL for this particular team. And you sat there and you ran it about an old coach. Why kill your own moment? That was dumb.
That cat got bitterness up inside him, all the stuff he's going through his career.
Look, whenever look, I'll tell you this: out of all the quarterbacks that should be in the NFL, and then how they always be like, oh, they got this white quarterback that's playing. Kaepernick should be playing over Geno Smith, and Geno Smith's in the NFL. So when push comes to shove, look at it like that.
You stating the obvious. I mean, Kaepernick should be playing for a lot of other quarterbacks.
A lot of teams. Personally, I didn't even think Bortles was good.
Personally, I don't even care about the Raiders and how they play. I'd rather talk about the Giants and how pitiful they've been all year and how bad that front office is. We predicted it. The GM and the head coach had to go, and now they're gone. And now they want to start Eli.
They're gone.
And now they want to start Eli and say, well, he's restarting his streak and his other streak will have an asterisk by it. So what? Nobody care. That's a lame ass organization, and they lame for the way they did Eli, and they lame for the way that they handled their head coach and all that. I mean, sucked. He should have been gone. He should have been gone.
Truth be told, McAdoo, more so than Reese, but McAdoo, I think, was a reflection of that front office, starting with John Mara. I don't think it was any accident that all of that played out the way it's supposed to, because just being a Cowboys fan, I've noticed John Mara for a while now, because he's always had slick stuff to say, about the Cowboys. Like, it's so obvious that he and Jerry Jones don't get along. So I've kind of not liked him for a while now. So it's not surprising to me, to see McAdoo say the smart comments that he was saying about the Cowboys early in the season. All that stuff was coming from the top. So, it's all coming back to roost now, so good for him.
and it's a testament to the reason why Hal Dumas won't come on. He won't come back to the podcast. I'm sorry.
You dropped the whole name right there, man. You dropped the whole name.
And look, sorry, not sorry. I mean, I wouldn't want to come up here and talk about that ragged ass organization.
Sorry.
I wouldn't want to.
Look, I hate you.
But whatever.
His name was Bragadoo. And he was loser do. Now he's gonna do. There's nothing else you can do about it.
I'm talking about that garbage. It's they're the bottom of the NFC East for a reason this season. I mean, that's really what it comes down. That's it. I mean, there ain't no other way to sum it up. So moving right along to the Redskins versus the Dallas Cowboys. I tell you what, the Redskins is just a notch above the Giants by a little bit. I mean, I'll be real with you. I was thoroughly disgusted by the performance they put on the field the other day. And I'm gonna tell you, Jay Gruden, he on the hot seat big time. Because if you look at the totality of his career as a Washington Redskins head coach, I'm not impressed. Not impressed. I'm not impressed with a lot of the decisions he's made. I'm not impressed with the play calling and who he's chosen to be the offensive coordinator. I'm not impressed not being disciplined and being and playing like some fools. You know, I'm just not impressed. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not their head coach next year. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. He really don't deserve to be. And if the receiving core is bad, the offensive line is the best thing they got going, but they can't stay healthy. It's bad, man. It's just bad. And, you know, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Dallas. Dallas came to that game and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They hit him in the mouth. They hit him in the mouth early, and they capitalized on the mistakes that the Redskins made, and they beat their tail. That's simple as that. They beat their tail. I mean, you can look at it as, were the Redskins really that bad, or were the Cowboys that great? I think it was a lot of both. I think the Cowboys played a really, really good game, and the Redskins just sucked to holy hell. You know? It ain't even no need to really even say the Redskins stats because they didn't have nothing to really lean on. I mean, Cousins played okay. You know what I'm saying? He did what Cousins does, but it was nothing spectacular about what the Redskins did that game. Nothing.
We called it, you know, before the game. We said Redskins were Jekyll and Hyde. And true to form, they didn't show up at all. And the most shocked person was probably me. Remember, I came back and revised my score, said Redskins 14-9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I will say this, by the way, I had a wardrobe change. I couldn't keep that on.
Yeah. Listen, I need to know if the agreement was for you to wear that for the duration of the podcast. I think you just broke the bet. You broke the contract.
No, I actually overextended what I was supposed to do because I was really just supposed to take a picture and post it on Facebook. But he's not on Facebook. He's not on Facebook anymore. So I'm gonna tell him, if you want to see this bet being fulfilled, you're gonna have to watch this podcast. He does watch it, so
I'd have made
it is what it is.
The whole time. You don't get
it. Wouldn't have. I wouldn't have bet. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have made it. But yeah, you know. Big ups to the Cowboys for putting it down and actually doing what they needed to do to come out with that W. I mean, Alfred Morris was a beast. I mean, he just ran all through him. He looked like Zeke out there.
Yeah.
You know, the Redskins made a lot of mistakes, ton of turnovers. I mean, when you got a team that has 4 turnovers and you have a team that has 0 turnovers, you already know that tells the whole story right there. I mean,
right. And a special teams touchdown to boot.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I saw it. Man. It was just a total failure by the Redskins. Simple as that. It really was. And
I don't make excuses for injuries, but I guess you can't only deal with that but for so long, man. Because they are decimated.
No. They are. But injuries don't cause one of your wide receivers or your punt returner to drop the ball and or to fumble.
He has
issues. He does, man. And we were talking about Jameson Crowder. Yeah, I'm calling the full government.
Yeah.
From Monroe, North Carolina, to went to Duke University.
Man, he has the fumble. How do you even the one that they wound up keeping barely, where Anthony Hitchens was literally turned over on his head and still managed to strip the ball away from him. Like he's got to get that corrected in the offseason, man. He'll find himself out of a job because Bill Parcells says nobody is worth a fumble. Nope. You don't care who you are, how good you are. If you have fumble issues, you're not worth it.
That's right. That's 100% right. That's correct. Man, I'm tired of talking about this. Treves, you got something to say about him?
Man, I ain't done.
Yeah, of course the winner of the game is gonna be like, yeah, I ain't done, dog. Hold up. Like, yo, I still want to talk about this game. Because that's the last game your team won in like the last 3 weeks.
What was that you said the other day, Trevis? You was like, I gotta talk about who I am. So what you said?
Yeah, I gotta talk about how I talk. I got to say how I feel.
How I feel.
Nah, man, I gotta see it the way I see it, you know.
Nah, man. I just, like I said, I was shocked more so than anything, man, because I'm really and I'm still, like I said before that game, I said this was the fool's gold game. That's what I named it. I said whoever won was gonna have fool's gold for a week. And I'm not coming off of that. I'm not changing. They're gonna have to show me they would have to beat the stink out of the Giants this week, for me to get back on the hope train with that, because I'm not buying it yet. Not there.
Where is that game? The Giants Cowboys
in New York.
In New York. I mean, the Giants and Cowboys is always a tough matchup, but
right.
I just don't. I mean, maybe the Giants have a little bit of a spark because their head coach is gone and the defensive coordinator is going to be running the show. Maybe that gives them a little spark.
Oh, they're going to come out hype as hell for Eli. You know that.
Yeah. I still don't see the Giants being good enough to beat the Cowboys this Sunday. I just don't see it.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's move on.
Moving on. The game of the week. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Week.
I have to say how I feel.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
how do you feel, Trevis? How do you feel?
How do I feel? I'm disappointed. And our quarterback play and our linebacker play, tackle play, which ended up being a debacle for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm disappointed in our coaching scheme, and I'm disappointed in our special teams coach, which is a big thing that you got to understand. On special teams, we never tried to return anything. We never tried to give our team a spark. That's a problem. When you look at Vaitai at that left tackle position, he got stunted on all night. He couldn't catch anybody. When you look at the fact that our third string linebacker was out, and then we had to play a fourth string linebacker in Najee Good, who basically is as close to the practice team as you could get on your team, who didn't even know where he was supposed to line up half of the time.
Hey, he's been with the Eagles for a minute, man. He should be,
Yes, he has. But he's very close to the practice team, and you've been with the Eagles for a minute. That's a problem.
Let me ask you a question, Trevis. Let me ask you a question.
Please hold your questions until I'm done ranting. So,
say that.
When you go from there and you look at that, and then you say, who else could have been a problem, Trevis? In this particular instance, the other problem was Carson Wentz. This gentleman walked out there and got under those lights and got scared. He got shook. Like they said back in the day, if you ain't never been to the ghetto, don't ever come to the ghetto.
Because you would not
out of the ghetto. He came into that stadium and he got shook. And I saw it in his eyes from the beginning. I said, yo, this bull looks scared. He was shook. Vaitai was coming over to him like, yo, I'm sorry, man. My bad. Wentz was like, nah, man, don't worry about it. I think it's more me than you. When you tell your lineman, I think it's more me than you, he got shook. I don't know what it was. Look, I don't know if they put something in his tea. I don't know if the lady was in front of him saying fall deeper, fall deeper. I don't know what was going on in that game. But this bull missed 4 wide open 30 to 40 yard actual plays where they could have advanced easily or had a touchdown where he missed them. I don't know what to tell you. Take your questions.
I don't even want to ask my question no more.
I wish I had tuned in to the very beginning of the game because I needed to see that. A lot of people were saying the nerves got the best of him. I missed all of it, but I would have been interested to see how that looked.
I'll tell you this, Cash. It was 10-3. We're going in. We're going in. He don't hand the ball off. He take the ball. Like, I got this. I see the end zone. End zone. I'm on the way.
I saw the fumble. That looked like a legit.
Somebody decides not to block their man. But the thing is, when he stripped them, it was like he never. You know how sometimes when people fumble, they look back down at the ball as they see it start to come out. He's still looking straight. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Then you have enough presence to get up and go run for the ball. So I think his nerves deserted him in his run for the goal line. You know, he was just like, oh, I think I'm going to get in. I'm going to get in. And then he didn't expect the ball to actually go for the ball, but he did. I'm sure they'll correct that and he'll do better next time. But the thing is, when you look at the loss and people try to say, oh, Eagles going to lose their next 2. Well, who the hell are you? What games are you watching? They're going to lose their next 2. How? I mean, it's a great team in the Rams that they're going up against, but I just like to say how. I'm hoping we get Walker back because without Hicks, we had a problem. Walker filled in really nicely, as I explained earlier in the season, that Walker was a good linebacker and that he could play the middle to the outside. But there were also some problems in the defensive calls where you blitz. We ain't been blitzing all season. Why would you decide to blitz now and leave McLeod wide open with somebody deep and he get burnt? And then there was another time on defense where you left. Hold on, bro. Hold it up. There was another time where you left Kendricks on the right side of the field with obviously a running back that had some receiver skills who gave him a plant foot, and Kendricks just ran with the plant foot. And I'm like, dog, of course he put that plant foot down to run to the end zone, and he had no help at safety. No help. The problem is, if you look at Wilson, this bull, when he is running or when he makes his best plays. They should have had a hit and sit mentality on defense. He can't see over his offensive line. That's why he throws better on the run, because he can't see over him. He's not that tall of a quarterback. You should have left him in a pocket and told him to make them throws from the pocket. But no, you go running around the outside, trying to rush him up. He stay in the pocket, move up, because you done moved your lineman out the way. He could see perfectly in front of him. He was hitting everything he needed to hit. Again, coaching, left tackle, third string linebacker being in Carson Wentz. That's what I got. There you go.
My question number 1. Who is the starting cornerback that replaced Richard Sherman?
I don't know. I don't give a good guy Rasputin. I don't care. I don't know. I have no idea.
His name is Shaquille.
They had the rookie. I know they had the rookie bowl on there.
Hold up.
I know they had the rookie bowl on there. That's all I know.
I'll let you talk about 10 minutes. Shaquille Griffin. Who replaced Cam Chancellor at safety?
I don't care.
Delano Hill, right? So you're talking about a third string linebacker and Najee Good, and you complaining about this dude, and they got 2 premier starting defending defensive players that are out for the season, and they still held your team to 10 points.
Okay. No, my quarterback held us to 10 points. It wasn't them that held us to 10 points. It was my quarterback. Please remember what I said. It was our quarterback that held us to 10 points.
I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Let me talk. That's the first point, which leads into the second point. Your team was out-coached. Your coach was out-coached. Pete Carroll out-coached Doug Peterson. The entire game. The entire game. That's what happened.
True.
Carson Wentz, the third point. The Carson Wentz that you saw against Seattle is the real Carson Wentz.
Wait, what?
This is what I'll tell you why.
Tripping.
This is what happens. This is what happens when your team is not catching all the breaks. When you're not getting all the flags in your direction. When you're not making these magical plays every other play. This is what happens.
It's called home field, man. Call home field.
When you get towards the end of the season and the games get a little bit tighter, people got that film. The other teams have that film on you. They see what you're doing. They understand what you're doing. Out before y'all even got to the stadium. They knew what y'all were gonna do. They knew what y'all were gonna do. Russell Wilson, he didn't just step up in the pocket and make throws. He was on the outside, on either side. He was killing your defense. He could get a first down whenever he wanted to. Only got sacked, I think, 2 times, but he stayed on the ground. He stayed getting hit. They knew where he was going to be. They knew what he was going to do. They knew it. They knew it. Like I predicted, I wanted to see what the character of the Philadelphia Eagles were when their backs were against the wall. They were down and they had to come back. And guess what they did? They folded. Just like I said. They folded.
They all of them
folded.
You gotta be right Batootie crapping me right now, man. I'm using all my Italian type words towards you right now. You have to be kidding me. The entire team folded?
No, I said the Eagles as a team, as a collective. It wasn't just Wentz. You said it yourself. They put Kendricks out there on a backup running back, and he got smoked. Smoked. They didn't put up 20. Hey, Carson Wentz didn't put up 24 points for the Seattle Seahawks, dude. The defense didn't do their job either.
You're right. They didn't do their job, but even if
no, hold on. With me making that statement, how are you gonna get all up in arms about me saying that the Eagles folded? It wasn't just Wentz. The defense didn't come to play either, dude. As a collective. Those got out. The defense,
but
defense couldn't stop them. It was the first time anybody had scored a touchdown on the Philadelphia Eagles in the first quarter. Your defense couldn't stop them. And y'all could only put up 10 points. As a team, as a collective, they folded, dude. They couldn't come back. They could only put 10 points on the board. That is a collective issue. That's not one thing. So it's not like my statement is way off base or way like a reaching statement. It's not that hard to understand, dude. You getting all hype.
So you saying right at that goal line you fumbled. That's a problem. That was Wentz who had the ball in his hand.
That's not
now.
It hurt. Definitely it hurt. But that's not where y'all lost that game.
Okay. So you're talking about other wide open passes that he had the people that he just. There was another crossing route which he hit the guy on, but if he hit him in stride, he's running from the end zone, and he didn't.
Dude, I never said.
So it's like
Carson Wentz had a masterful game because he did not. But what I'm saying to you is there were other aspects of that game that caused the Eagles to lose that game. Carson Wentz definitely didn't have his best game, no doubt about it. But at the same time, there was a lot of things.
Please note the other aspects of the game.
The defense, dude. They couldn't.
So it spans only the culture? Is it spanning only the culture?
Hold on. Listen, dude. You asked me a question. I try to answer it, and then you try to cut me off again. Doug Peterson didn't know what to do. He didn't know what plays to call because they couldn't do anything with Russell Wilson. So on defense, he was shook. Jim Schwartz was all. That's why he started blitzing like crazy because he didn't know what the hell he was doing. That's why he started doing that. He didn't know how to contain Russell Wilson. He was trying to flush him out of the pocket, which is the exact opposite of what you should do against a quarterback that can throw the ball on the move. Dummy. Let's be real. Come on, man.
But I called that already. But go ahead.
See, this is my point. I make all these statements and I say they folded, and then you get they folded. Yeah, they folded, dude. They had a bad game.
But when you say they folded as a team. They didn't fold as a team. They were out there and they were doing what they had to do. There were specific times where things went down where I view it and I say, "Yo, this was a bad play right here."
Not to mention, since we're interrupting people, what about your running back by committee? What about that? How many yards rushing did y'all have? 98.
It was very low.
Running back by committee. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It was very low.
Come on, bro. I can't.
Tell them why you mad. Tell them why you mad, dog. Tell them why you mad.
I'm not.
Tell them why you mad.
It's just that if I make a point and you come in, like, come on, man. Like, I'm not talking.
Tell why you mad, bro. Tell why you mad.
Come on, man. Get out of here.
No, I never said you was talking out the ass. I don't believe the entire team folded. I don't believe that. I don't believe that the whole team folded. I believe there were specific instances where the coaching was very bad, and you were not prepared as a coach where your team got a certain lineup and they weren't ready. So, example, Kendrick's out there on that running back. You were not ready for that. Either that or you're just dumb and you put Kendrick's out there. But you were not ready for that. You were not in the right package. You might have should have called a timeout. You should have been in a nickel and been ready to go for that particular package. But you weren't. So, I mean, when push comes to shove, I mean, it happens. I don't think the entire team folded because there could have been a lot more points on the board if they just decided to fold.
I like that. I like that word coulda, but it wasn't.
It could have been a lot more points on the board, but it wasn't. But if they like folded, but I didn't see a fold in the team. I saw an outcoached team, a distorted yet scared yet what's going on quarterback, a left tackle who obviously was outplayed by multiple people who ended up lining up on him or crossing his face, or he was supposed to pick up, because you saw his sympathy when he went to go pick Wentz up off the ground multiple times.
Vitae, you the weakest link.
Somebody get your ass hurt. Something should happen to you, yo. Like, I mean, when push comes to shove, something should happen to you. Because I got a feeling that we're gonna have like a Raiders type season, right on the edge of the playoffs, and then out of nowhere, Foles is at quarterback. I'm like, yeah, well, if this wouldn't happen,
I don't know what I don't even know what you're talking about now. But I mean,
talking about a tragedy.
Yo, you don't know what happened to Carr last season? I'm just saying.
Talking about what happened to the Raiders last year.
Yeah, the Raiders were going to the playoffs. They were smoking aces. It happens. I'm just letting you know.
Jay Ajayi, 9 rushes for 35 yards.
LeGarrette, he was running scared too. I don't know what he was doing.
LeGarrette Blount, 8 rushes for 26 yards. Corey Clement,
running scared,
7 yards.
Yo, Clement wasn't running scared. For some reason, they knew what plays were coming to Clement, and man, that linebacker was on him.
You think?
As soon as he ran through the hole, they was on him.
They got the tape on him, bro. They had y'all pinged before y'all came to the stadium, is what I'm saying. And y'all did not. Hold on. The Eagles did not make adjustments, but they continue to try the same thing they had been trying. They were hoping they would get something to fall in their direction, and it didn't. And guess what happened? They folded. And they didn't come from behind. I mean, that last main throw that Wentz made, I don't know what he was doing. He threw into double coverage. I mean, I'm looking at this like, this is the Carson Wentz from last year.
Peterson was in his ear. It was like, yo, bump it is over, man. Just throw it up in there.
And y'all, it was plenty of time left on that clock for y'all to make a comeback. But if you make that play, it's no chance.
But he kept overthrowing people. It's like he was doing it on purpose. He kept overthrowing people. It was like, yo, bring the ball down so they can catch it. What are you doing?
I personally, like I said, what you saw out of Carson Wentz against the Seahawks this past Sunday is more like the Carson Wentz. I think that's closer to what Carson Wentz really is than what we have been seeing out of him in previous weeks. in those previous weeks, if you look at it, it's a lot like how, and this is not a negative statement at all. It's a lot like how when the Panthers had their Super Bowl run, when they went to the Super Bowl. If you go back and you look at each game from week to week, I mean, they were getting all kinds of calls. They were blowing people out. They were coming from behind. It was almost a perfect storm. They get towards the end of the season and they drop a big game against the Falcons. But they end up botching a play and they can't close the deal against the Falcons, right? They get into the playoffs, they still look good. They get to the Super Bowl and the Broncos punch them in the mouth and they ain't have a chance. The Broncos control that game at the line of scrimmage from start to finish. They got dominated. The reason the score wasn't as bad as it was in that Super Bowl game was because the Broncos didn't have a quarterback that could do anything. Peyton Manning was well over the hill, and they didn't have an offense that could move the ball. Defense won that game. And it's a lot. The Eagles are very reminiscent of that same team, or that Panthers team. They knocking people out. They're scoring 30-plus points a game. It's exciting. The quarterback is elusive. All this mess. All that same stuff. And then they get to a tough opponent. A tough opponent that's battered at that. They come up against a tough opponent and they don't show up. And it's at one of the worst times. If they were gonna drop a game, they should have dropped the game earlier. That's what they should have done. And I'm telling you like this, that the Eagles are a bad team. I still think they can make the NFC East, NFC division championship. I'm picking the Panthers and the Eagles to meet up. That's what I think is going to happen. But they're not going to win that Super Bowl. I'm telling you. They're not going to do it. The gig is up, man. The
Panthers not going to be there, but okay.
Okay. Maybe not. And
I'm looking at this schedule. Panthers might not even.
If the Panthers ain't in,
might not even be.
If the Panthers ain't in there, guess who won't be? Who else won't be in there? You take a guess.
Oh, the who? Who won't be in?
I'm gonna let you say it. I ain't gonna say it.
The Panthers won't be in. Who won't be in?
I can tell you who else ain't gonna be in.
It ain't us.
Y'all,
who?
It's just y'all. It's almost exact same team, just like the Panthers. The way the Panthers, it's almost the exact same scenario. And I'm telling you, the later it gets in the season, and when you get into the postseason and you get into the playoffs, you stop getting those calls like that. You stop getting those big breaks. All of a sudden, Carson Wentz ain't Houdini no more.
Well, I mean, I hear what you're saying.
He got sacked 3 times.
I hear what you're saying.
How many other weeks has that happened? How many other weeks has that happened?
But he's been sacked multiple times in games and we still won them.
How many others?
You know, like when push comes to shove, when you look at it, who knows why Carson Wentz?
Huh? Not answer the question. How many other weeks?
He's been. I mean, I know in Kansas City he was sacked multiple times. No, I know in Kansas City he was sacked multiple times. I know up against,
They lost that game.
Yep.
No, but I'm just saying, I understand they lost the game, but up against other teams, he was sacked. Against the Cardinals, he was sacked multiple times. I'm just saying, like, just think about it. He was sacked multiple times. It's not about him being sacked. The whole thing is, are you throwing high now? Where did this throwing high out of nowhere come from? Multiple times. Like, I hate Chris Collins. Look, I hate Chris Collinsworth. His voice annoys the shiggity out of me. But sometimes he just sees it and he says, yo, his MVP status has just went down. Why can't you make this throw? The game is in reach. You're down, but the game is in reach. Why can't you make this throw? That's the problem that I'm talking about. And then they say Aguilar is like the next great slot receiver. And I'm like, wait, what?
Can I answer that question?
How? Yeah, he had a great game and he was open, but why is Wentz not? No, don't tell me you just saw the real Carson Wentz. I don't want to hear that right now. All right? What I want to hear is
what I was going to say.
That's dang go on throw, Carson. Get it to your man. Do what you got to do. The running game, yes, it was minimal. The running game was minimal. But he could have killed him with that crossing route. Something that Brady would have did. You got to kill him with that crossing route. Like, come on.
Oh,
It was open. It was there. You do it 10 feet over his head.
Let's not do that. Let's not even mention Carson Wentz and Brady in the same breath, dude. It's not.
First and
No,
foremost, I do what I feel like doing. Second and foremost, when push come to shove, I'm talking about somebody who, if they were down, they would have came back.
horrible.
And in today's game, I gotta look at Brady as somebody of that standard. Okay. Now, when push comes to shove in that particular game, and you're down, Brady would have made those throws right in the dude's chest while he was on the run, ready to go. Carson got to get to that level. As simple as that. Make those throws into his chest while you're on the run to do his thing.
You're not gonna be able to do something you can't. You're not gonna be able to do that when you ain't got the skills to do it. The thing is,
you mean to tell me Carson don't have the skills to throw to his chest?
No, I'm saying Carson Wentz ain't got the skills to be Brady. Is what I'm saying. That's why I would never make that comparison. That's why I would never make that comparison. And to answer your question,
so what quarterback should I use?
To answer your question, you shouldn't. Why not compare him to? Why compare him to possibly one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game? That don't even make sense. Like I would never do that. It's no point.
I'll tell you this, man. We're going into all this. The only good thing for the Eagles is if somebody knock off the Seahawks, we don't have to see them ever again. The only good thing for the Eagles right now, because if that bull could keep twisting and running like that, we got a problem. I mean, we got a problem. Unless they find faster defensive ends that's going to get to him quicker while he's running, we got a problem. As simple as that. But I tell you what, all the rest of the quarterbacks in the NFC, except for Cam, they ain't really running like that. So, great. Good luck.
And Carson Wentz, to answer your question, the reason why Carson Wentz was throwing high like that, he is who he is.
I refuse to believe the vulgarity coming from a Redskins fan that just had on a Dallas t-shirt. I have nothing to say to you, gentlemen. Nothing at all.
You can say what you want. You look at Carson Wentz's numbers last.
I don't care.
You look at his numbers.
I don't care. You had on a Dallas shirt. I don't care. You had on a Dallas shirt. I won.
Hey,
you had on a Dallas shirt. You know what? That's the reason why I don't bet, so I don't have to do the vulgarity in which you just had to do on the air.
First of all, that's not
I don't know.
What is that's not a word. Vulgarity.
No, that's our problem. That's our problem. I don't care. So what? I don't care. I don't care. It's not a word. We're making words up so that you can switch the topic. It doesn't even matter right now.
Okay.
I said I know may not go let that one by without saying that.
Try not to curse, man. It's supposed to be a family show.
Cass, do you have anything to add about this?
Man, I'm just entertained listening to y'all cats. That is my entertainment.
I'm about to go for B to you. And I just said bokeh.
Some funny dudes, man.
Let's go, man. Next topic, man. We got a whole next week to go into.
Personally, I think I'm not going to overreact to what happened in that game because young players and young teams go to Seattle to get baptized, and that's what just happened to the Eagles. Nothing more, nothing less. It's going to Seattle to play is like a rite of passage, man. And they got what they were likely to get. Even though I thought, Seattle wasn't going to be the same. There's no more Legion of Boom there. But that crowd is still that crowd, man. 12th man is still there. And they fly around like crazy at home, man. And that's a lot to deal with. And Carson Wentz got a hell of a wake-up call. And I guess that's why he was probably shook when he first got out there. So I'm not going to overreact to it. I do think they got exposed a little bit because I think their secondary has been really benefiting from that hellacious pass rush that the Eagles have. And, Russell Wilson showed that if you can survive, for a tick or two longer, those receivers can get open against that secondary. And I think the secondary got used to not having to cover that long, and they got exposed a little bit. So I don't know, man. We'll see going forward. I want to say they'll have another tough week against the Rams, but I'm not yet sold on the Rams like that. So I don't know. We'll talk about that moving forward.
Yeah, and make no mistake, Eagles is still a damn good football team. No doubt about it. They really are. They know what they do really well, and they stick to that. You know what I mean? Like that, like you said, that pass rush from that defense is vicious. And when they get the ball moving on offense, they're a hard team to stop. They are a hard team to stop. They are. But it's been shown. It's been shown, just like Cash spoke to it. When Carson Wentz has multiple sacks, when he's sacked multiple times, it's hard for him to get back into that rhythm. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of those passes were going high like that. He was rushed a whole lot. He was sacked more than normal, and it threw him off his game. And again, he went against a very good and tough defense that is banged up, but it's still the Seattle Seahawks. You know, the Legion, like you said, the Legion of Boom may be long in the tooth, but it's still a lot of the components of that defense are still there. So, you know, like you said, it's a rite of passage, and I'm not saying that, you know, lose every game from here on out. That'd be crazy talk. I don't believe that. I wouldn't say it because I don't believe it. But, you know, it's a lot to be said about a team that's been blowing cats out week after week, scoring 30 plus points a game, and then can't score but 10 points. I mean, it's a lot to be said about that. I felt like I said it. So, you know, I guess
this is what I'll say before we move on.
Okay.
This is what I'll say. Everybody at the top of the playoff race is now 10-2. Everybody in the playoff race is unknown under that. The Philadelphia Eagles, of course, they're always going to be up there because of the fact that nobody else in the NFC East is really up there as far as wins, so they're going to win the division eventually, especially when they play against the Giants. They're going to win. I don't see them taking an L in that particular game. There were multiple things that went wrong for the Eagles. Some of the magic was there as they were playing the game. They were attempted to get themselves where they needed to be. But too many turnovers and too many coaching errors didn't allow that. Philadelphia Eagles will be back next week. Don't even worry about it.
Moving on to the next week's games. Week 14. Moving on to week 14.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and jump right into the Eagles and the Rams. Let's do it.
All right.
Segue. Go for it.
Eagles and the Rams.
Bounce back.
Eagles and the Rams. Eagles and the Rams is like going up against a mirror team. Exactly. But except for the only difference is this. The Eagles have multiple running backs. But that boy over there, Gurley, is a beast. But I'll tell you this right now. You got the #1 rushing defense, and I don't even care if they even think they want to change the Eagles from a different number in rushing defense against Gurley. You know, they have to figure out a way to stop Gurley. If you stop Gurley, you can stop the Rams. Point blank. They don't have to play action anymore. Goff can't take that really large step back where he does this 7-foot drop that really looks like a 10 to 15 yard drop that he takes back and ends up hitting that crossing route coming across to Cooper, whatever his name is. He ends up hitting him on a crossing route, and he's able to get him going deep. So I'm looking at this particular game like this is going to be a battle. This is going to be real. They have a really good kicker. Their kicker is, putting up, I don't want to bring up the F word, but he's putting up 17 to 20 points on that. And he's really good. And that's something that the Eagles got to look at, though. Even though you stop them, they're going to be able to kick a field goal, and that's going to be 3 points on the board. So we're going to need our rookie kicker to step up and do what he has to do as far as us getting stopped and being able to put the points up on the board. I'm looking for a very energetic, very aggressive Philadelphia offense coming down the field. I'm looking for them to take all types of chances to make sure that they win this game. That's what I'm looking for from the Philadelphia Eagles. Currently, the Philadelphia Eagles are still second in the NFL. From NFL.com, they're saying we're second, but we're actually tied with the Rams, which is 30.1 points per game. We're third in the NFL in yards with 385.1 a game. And passing, we're actually 14th, which is something that I think we need to get up, which is 241.8 per game. And then in rushing, we're second in the NFL still with 143.3 a game. So our running back by committee is actually doing well, keeping careers alive. So I'm really looking for this game to be something where certain defensive ends are allowed to get upfield and get the golf a little bit quicker due to stunts, and we're really going to need Cox in this particular game. He's going to have to show up.
You said the Eagles are number 14 in the league in receiving.
Oh, passing yards.
In passing yards, okay. In passing yards, which is
yes.
That kind of surprises me, being that Alshon Jeffrey just got that big contract like that. That a little shot. Yeah, it is kind of a little shot. That boy got a lot of money for not doing a whole lot. I mean,
I'll tell you this on that one. Right now, 3 Eagles have over 500 yards receiving. 3 of them. Okay. Then you have a fourth one with over 300, and then you got a third string tight end with 153. So when you look at the Eagles, they definitely have a lot of yards. And then you even look at Mac Hollins. He has 201 receiving yards. I would say the Philadelphia Eagles definitely spread the ball around, as much as they can. But Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, and Nelson Aguilar all have 7 touchdowns. So when you look at it, the ball is spread around so much. If you look at other offenses, they don't have that particular spread out, the way that other teams do. Could Alshon Jeffrey do it if he was the only name on his team? That is something that is to be told. But he's definitely dealing with the fact that his tight end is getting 57 receptions. The backup, the slot receiver is getting 40, and the other receiver on the other side has 27.
Let's be clear. I'm gonna name the first 10 wide receivers that are leading the league in receiving.
You want to hear this? You want to see this? You want to see this?
Hold on, man. You can close your ears. Facts are facts. Antonio Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, Jarvis Landry, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Adam Thielen, Golden Tate, Julio Jones, Travis Kelce. No Alshon Jeffries. You want to know where Alshon Jeffrey ranks?
I know where
in receiving league.
I know where he ranks.
41. Number 41. And there is some running backs in there. Yeah. This dude just signed 4 years for, what was it, $52 million?
That was $12 million a year.
That's preposterous.
$12 million a year. None of the 12 was guaranteed. I hear what you're saying. But when push comes to shove, I hear your preposterous nature and everything that you're talking about. That's great. But what the Eagles did for themselves is they said, okay, well, if we're going to get another receiver, we're going to draft that receiver. We're not going to go try to get another big receiver.
What the Eagles did, they paid too much for a lemon. They bought a lemon vehicle and they paid.
So
sorry,
gonna call my man a lemon. All right, my man ain't a lemon. He, at least he's getting 15 yards, a reception. But I mean, when push comes to shove, and you really look at it, I know it's looking like we want him to be Superman right now, but the way that the offense is, he's not going to be Superman. It's not going to work like that. I said before,
I would just say being at least in the top 15 of all receivers in the league.
Then he would have probably got more money. Like I said before in the chat room, it just is what it is. There's nothing you could do. Would I've paid him? No, not out of my money. But he's requiring that over under. And whenever you're requiring that over/under, you're allowing other people to catch the ball. Just like in Seattle, they had somebody over them, they had somebody on them. But the thing is, if you're missing your crossing route, it looks like you're not doing anything. You know, you can't overthrow the crossing route that's wide open. There's a problem on that one. So if you look at it, you know, I don't have the stats in front of me of how many targets he's had or how many he's caught to his targets. But I'll tell you right now, you know, he's looking pretty good. I mean, I got at least 15 people with receiving yards, you know, on the stat sheet right now. We're going all the way back to Kevin Barner. Kevin Barner has 4 for 42 yards. All that takes away from what the number one receiver could possibly be doing. And I do not think that the offense is geared towards Alshon Jeffrey either, which has been a big success because many people have not been able to figure out the Philadelphia Eagles because of that.
It's clearly not revolving around Alshon Jeffries.
Yeah. So I think that's a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles success. Shit, Brett Selleck has 100 yards, and you would never believe that Brett Selleck has 100 yards. He is 8 for 100 yards.
I'll put it to you like this. Here's what I say about this Eagles and Rams coming up. I think that the Eagles went out to Seattle and they played a tough opponent. I think they're gonna bounce back, and I think they're gonna come back, and they're gonna look like the Eagles have looked, you know, previously in this season. But I will say this: you basically said, not basically. I think your statement was, if the Eagles stop Gurley, they're good. Is that what you said?
No, I said what the Eagles need to do is stop Gurley to then make them one-dimensional, so that then we can focus on where's Goff going. And their way of stopping Gurley will also be in the pressure that they're going to give, you know, Goff. And I do know that Goff does take like at least a 12-yard drop. Like his drop is amazing. I mean, he really gets back there for a defense to come after him, which gives him a really big pocket. I haven't seen him really run for anything, but stopping Gurley is the number one beyond anything aspect with this particular team. Once Gurley gets going running the ball, it's a problem.
You could really, I agree. I think stopping Gurley is a real big factor. I don't think it's the primary factor, and I don't think it's the only factor.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of players on the team.
I will say a lot of players, and one of them I think you really should pay a little more attention to is Jared Goff. And I say that because if you look at the numbers, he's actually ahead of Wentz in passing. So you can make the argument that if the Rams stop Carson Wentz, they basically stop the Eagles. That's kind of like that's kind of what I heard you saying about the Eagles against the Rams. So you can probably use that same argument first against the Eagles, because Goff is playing.
What I would say,
Goff is playing some. I mean, he's getting MVP looks this season as well, just as Carson Wentz is. You know, so
when you look at the game, and I said to y'all before, the only thing that can stop the Eagles, of course, are the Eagles. When you look at the game, and if you look at,
agree with that statement, and this game that just passed is a good testament to that. It ain't just the Eagles.
I mean, you could say Seattle did it. I don't think Seattle did much of it. I truly believe that if you look at it,
the only team that can do it.
I hear you. You could say it, you know, and it sounds great when you view it and you say, yeah, the only teams, the times when Carson Wentz got the ball off and he actually threw it and he threw him off. Like I said, I don't like Chris Collinsworth, but he called it the way it was. He said, where the heck is Wentz throwing the ball? Where is it going? Why is it overthrowing everybody he throws to? That's a problem when your quarterback is not hitting the target that's wide open. And he's not talking about, oh, he was open and he would have caught the ball. No, he's talking open with nobody behind him. That's a problem. Nobody behind them. We're not talking about back in the day down at McNabb we used to throw balls into the dirt and then to find a receiver to throw it to get down and get the ball. No, we're talking wide open. Nobody's on them, but you overthrew him by like 10 yards. there were times I don't know what was going on with Winston at that particular time. I don't know if it's the West Coast. I'll tell you this right now. If it happens again, I need to get the hell off the West Coast. I'll tell you that right now.
It won't. It didn't have anything to do with the West Coast. It had everything to do with those 3 sacks and how Wentz was getting rushed on all his throws. He hardly ever had a clean pocket to really throw from. He did.
He had clean pockets.
Okay.
He had clean pockets. I'm not gonna sit there and say he ain't had clean pockets. He had clean pockets.
So mysteriously, out of nowhere, he just started throwing the ball over his receivers' heads, and he looked shook out of nowhere. And
I'm telling you right now, he had clean pockets
all season, except against the Chiefs. But
I'm telling you right now, he had clean pockets. Against the Chiefs, he had clean pockets.
I watched that game just like you did.
I'm telling you, he had clean pockets, man. He had clean pockets, man.
He did not.
All right. Now we can sit here and leave Cash with the I don't know face, but he had clean pockets. He had plenty of clean pockets where he was able to throw. Maybe he threw a little bit quick and he didn't need to, but there are clean pockets that you can see on film where he threw the ball and you were like, how was that? How was that the reason why he threw it? Just saying.
It wasn't. He wasn't throwing from clean pockets like that. At any rate,
you call it how you need to, but I'm just telling you, he threw a lot of passes from clean pockets.
I'm picking the Rams.
Shoot, the ones that he threw while he was getting tackled, those are the ones he completed the most.
Yeah, that's that Houdini. That's that Houdini stuff.
But I'm just saying, like you saying, oh yeah, he was getting banged up throwing. Yeah, a couple of people hit his arm on some throws, but come on.
That proves my point. You saying the throws that he was getting rushed on, he completed them. He was getting hurried and rushed on a lot of throws. He wasn't throwing from clean pockets. You just proved my point.
No, but the thing is this. Those throws went into the ground. All right? The ones where he completely overthrew people. Those ones, nobody hit his arm. He threw them. Like he threw them set feet and all through them.
1 second you just said when he was getting grabbed and his arm was hit, he completed them. Then you just said passes went into the ground. I don't know what you just said that. You just
said you're going to take that back now.
Yeah, and you're not winning. Just saying.
Okay. All right.
You got any comments on this Eagles Rams game?
No. Maybe so. I'm bugging right now. I'm hearing myself echoing. So I agree with previous. Do y'all hear echo?
I don't.
Yeah.
You hear Travis? The hell? No. Did you just send a chat? That's what I get for playing stuff while y'all were talking. I'll power through.
You hear me, man?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
All right. Yeah. I do think. It's for the Eagles to stop. And I don't think it's going to be for them to stop Gurley. If they load up to do it, I think he might gash him. Runs sort of beak style. So I don't know. I think as far as Gurley's concerned, struggling to stop Gurley. That's going to help Goff. But the real matchup, I will defense versus Eagles. That's really what I want. To see.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good point.
I think it's going to be a real. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely picking the Eagles to win this game. I mean, for sure. I think that I don't think they're going to blow them out. I think it'll be a close game, like you said, and I think ultimately the Eagles are going to come out and they're going to want to redeem themselves. And the one thing about the Rams is that they make mistakes at the worst possible times, and that's why they have dropped some games this season. I mean, even against the Redskins earlier on, it was the same thing. They dropped that game because they made foolish mistakes towards the end of that game, and the Redskins just didn't. It was one of the times where the Redskins didn't. But again, you know, I know me and Trevis go back and forth. It's part of the camaraderie. It's part of what makes this podcast good, and I get that. Thinking that the Eagles are a great team. They're not 10-2 for no reason, you know. Well, yeah, 10-2, right? Yeah. They're not 10-2 for no reason. They're 10-2 because they're a damn good football team. That's what it comes down to. I mean, I seem to think they're more flawed than Trevis, but I mean, of course, I'm gonna feel that way. I'm not an Eagles fan. He's an Eagles fan, but you know, I don't think that it's the Eagles versus the Eagles. That's what Trevis said, you know. But hey, man, what you gonna do? I'll tell you what. Let's move on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and get your score now, Trevis, so that way we ain't got to come back around. What's your score for this Eagles Rams game?
I think the Eagles are mad. Eagles run up the score. I see it ending 38-20.
Okay. Got you down. Let's move on to this Redskins Chargers game. I don't see it going well for the Redskins. Not at all. Especially I don't see it going well for the Redskins, and I'm gonna tell you why. The main reason is because the Chargers are still in the playoff hunt and they got everything to lose, and they're not going down without a fight.
Yeah,
the Redskins, you know, the Redskins are not in a position to be in no dogfight. They're just not. From injuries to playing without discipline and with bad play calling and fumbleitis by Crowder and them not being able to get it together with that receiving core, is too many things against them for them to go against a team that's hungry and ready to win and, you know, and ready to battle. It's too much going against them for the Redskins to win that game. Would they put up a good effort? Maybe. It depends on what Redskin team shows up. Don't think it's going to be that much of a game. I think the Chargers are gonna dominate. You know, I think Phillip Rivers is gonna find the holes in that defense and he's gonna gash them. That's what I think. I just don't. I don't see it going well for the Redskins at all. Trevis, you got anything to say? This is the first time Trevis is speechless.
Because I agree with you. I
I've never seen him speechless ever. Like, what's going on? Word up, yo! I thought your mic went out or something. I was like, yo, this dude is speechless.
I just didn't want to say it.
No, hey, man, it is what it is. You know, I can't just.
No, I didn't want to say. I agree with you. I didn't want to say those words.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret, man. Everybody is seeing what's going on with the Redskins. You know, it ain't no secret. I can't sit here and sell water to a well. I mean, I'd be stupid to do that. You know, but at the end of the day, if Gruden don't tighten up, it's gonna be his career as a Redskin is gonna come to an end very soon.
Sidebar real quick.
Okay.
You know I'm big on the whole playoff scenario thing. The Panthers play the Vikings. The Rams play the Eagles. Seattle plays the Jaguars. Has nothing to do with it. But the Saints play the Falcons. This whole playoff scenario could be different next week.
True. Very true. You are the possible playoff talking NFC beats guru. But your first prediction was dead wrong. You said you thought the Redskins could make it, and I told you, I was like, dude, I've been watching this team all season. I don't see.
You said there's no heart there.
It just wasn't there, man. I didn't see it. You know, I didn't see the fight. I didn't see the playmaking ability. You know, I had aspirations that the receiving core wouldn't be that much drop off. I was wrong. Dead wrong. It was a huge drop off.
I mean, y'all gonna end 9-7. Y'all gonna end 9-7 though.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
I mean, y'all play the Chargers, Cardinals, Broncos, Giants. I could do it.
It can be done. It's possible. Is it probable?
Or 8 and 8. It's either 9-7 or 8 and 8.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know if it's probable, but it's possible. You know. I mean, let's go ahead and move on, man. We got one more game to talk about, which is the game of the week. Is the Dallas Cowboys
game of the week?
The game of the week. The Dallas Cowboys against the New York Giants. Hey man, I can't stand the Giants. I'm sorry. I hate that they're an NFC East team right now, just with all the stuff that's going on. And it's rare. This is a Redskins fan talking. I hope the Cowboys beat the Giants.
Yeah, why?
I want them to beat the Giants.
Why?
Because I want them to smash the Giants. They better smash the Giants. And when the Redskins play them in week 17, they better smash the Giants.
They probably will.
Smash them. It's a travesty for them to be as bad as they are. I mean, people had them winning the NFC East this year and had them moving it deep into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants. And look at what they've made of their season. A complete mockery. From coaching, from the front office. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's bad the way they did Eli, but Eli ain't been doing himself no favors. It ain't like he been playing lights out. Granted, he only has one of his starting wide receivers from the beginning of the season in Sterling Shepard. I give him half of that, but you still got to make plays.
Jamie.
You still got to make plays here. You loud and clear, Cash Money.
No.
But you still got to make plays. And Eli's not making them. I mean, Eli is number 21 in the league in passing. And I'm not even gonna pull up his rushing numbers because that's horrible.
Man, there's no any of that discussion.
Eli couldn't run a fever. He couldn't run a fever. It's just bad.
My gosh. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. Why do we? No, I disagree. I think Rams is game of the week. I think Dallas better walk to a buzzsaw. Hold nothing gets the city excited. The Cowboys coming in town. And they have Eli coming, being embarrassed, and the fans behind them. It's going to be a tough one. So they better be ready. But in my opinion, Eagles Rams is the game of the week.
I was calling it the game of the week because it's two NFC East opponents, and I mean, really, if you look at it, the Cowboys, but outside of the Eagles, the Cowboys are the only other NFC East team that possibly could have a shot at making the playoffs.
Right, they got to run out.
Yeah, they got to win out, and they may need, Trevis, you can help me. I don't know. You look at the playoff picture a little bit better than I do, but do they need any help from other teams losing to make the playoffs?
Yeah, but they have Giants, Raiders, Seahawks, Eagles.
Okay.
Good luck. Well, I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Yeah, the Giants are out of it.
Yeah.
The Raiders are 6-6, so they're in that playoff hunt. The Seahawks are trying to become a third seed. And then you got the Eagles who are trying to keep their seed. Good luck.
Ideally,
the Eagles have to play that last game.
What?
Because of the loss, the Eagles have to play that last game.
Right. That's why Cowboys kind of been wanting the Eagles winning. So they played that last game.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that?
That's your chair. Your chair needs some WD-40, homie.
That's Trevis.
That ain't my chair. That's my what's the name? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. My bad, Cash. You had that wicker chair. You had the old school wicker chair.
Yeah.
Oh man. I just looked at the Vikings schedule. Is the best. They got the Panthers, which is their only last. That's the last game. It's like week 17 for them. And they got the Bengals, Packers, Bears. Wow.
I'm gonna give my score for this Redskin Chargers game. I'm calling it 30-21 Chargers.
Oops.
I don't see the Redskins doing much. I just don't see them doing much. I'm just gonna call it 30-21 Chargers. Cash, you got a score for this Giants Cowboys game?
It's pain. 23-17 Dallas.
It's not gonna be that close.
You don't think so?
I'm saying the Cowboys have another showing out performance and 33-10.
Dude, nothing would make me happier than for them to ruin Eli's quote unquote turn. That whole feel good story just right on. Let them come out. Let them come out. Five picks. That would be beautiful.
It's possible for them to ruin it for Eli. It's very possible for them to ruin it for Eli. I mean, really, that comeback story is already ruined just by the way that they've been treating the way they treated Eli. I mean, it's already bad.
Yeah, but they try to make it a.
They're trying, but I don't even know. I don't know how you reconcile that. If I'm Eli, I'm out. I'm out because it's just that's a lot to come back from, man.
Hey, Treat. We can hear your text. Everything else you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just FYI.
It might be mine too, Cash, to be real with you.
Well, both of y'all need.
Hey, look, man. Don't talk about my equipment, man.
Already.
Yours echoing. Yours the only one echoing.
Because y'all, right? Y'all other electricity.
No.
Electronics.
Our electronics ain't got nothing to do with your echo.
Gonna put y'all just like on the plane all along.
Like, that daggone Walmart mic you got.
I got my mic from the same. Got your mic from.
Hey, look, y'all. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. It's getting late. I don't have a game this week. We can go ahead and just close it out because we've been up here for a minute.
I know, because y'all two big friends, old ass married.
Come on, man. Turn that equals garbage off, man. Come on, man.
We about to play the outro. I don't understand.
But no, Trevis, let's go ahead.
I think y'all bars for seconds, man. I keep talking bars.
Yeah, Trevis, go ahead. What's your closing remarks?
I'm looking for a great game between the Eagles and the Rams. Go Eagles. Go Eagles.
Cash.
I hope the Rams whoop the dog shit out of it. I would never root for it, not even if it benefits my Dallas Cowboys. That's all I got. All I got. When I say never. It could come down to one game. Oh well.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm not gonna do it either. But I will say this: I think for the NFC East, I think the Eagles are gonna bounce back this week and they're gonna beat the Rams. I think that the Cowboys are gonna handedly, beat the Giants. I just don't see the Giants recovering from all the turmoil that they've been going through this whole season. That stuff lingers. I don't think it stops this week, especially when you got a Cowboys team that still has hopes of the playoffs. I think they're going to play pretty hard.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much over for the Redskins. I think Jay Gruden, I'm sorry, his brother, Jay Gruden is going to play or get his guys to play just well enough that hopefully he keeps his job. But I just don't see the Redskins doing much in this game against the Chargers.
You think he's at that point?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you look at the totality of his career as a Redskins head coach,
getting there, huh?
Impressive. It ain't been that impressive, and they kept a decent quarterback at the helm most of his time there. Kirk Cousins has been his boy.
That's his quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, no, actually, it was Shanahan's quarterback.
Shanahan
drafted him, but he kept him. You right?
Kirk Cousins. He said that.
He did. You're right. He chose him over RG3 for sure. No doubt about it. I agree. And I think here's the thing. He chose him, and Cousins has lived up to it, and he's proven himself. But Gruden hasn't.
Gotta get him over.
Yeah, but Gruden hasn't. Gruden hasn't proven himself. So I just don't. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in him. I don't have a lot of faith in the team as a whole right now. So I don't see them winning this game against the Chargers. But it's still going to be an exciting week of football, though. The NFL, they had a lot of garbage last week, and they're going to be looking very tight. A lot of garbage with illegal hits and suspensions and all kinds of stuff. And I think the refs and the league as a whole are going to tighten up and really be looking at that. I mean, they're even talking about bringing in a targeting rule, like the same kind of rule that they have in college, to where players can be ejected for targeting and throwing illegal hits. Will they implement it? Who knows? I mean, hell, Roger Goodell just got $200 million. Anything can happen. $200 million for 5 years, and this dude don't play. It's hard to say, man. Anything can happen. But, ladies and gentlemen, to close this thing out, I want to say thank you for viewing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Talking NFC Beast. Us on Instagram at Talking NFC Beast. And that's TALKIN NFC BEAST. We over and out. I hope y'all had a good night. Thank y'all for joining us.
Good night. God bless. Good night. God bless. This cat can't keep.
I got the music.
Come on, music, man. I know you ain't the music, yo.
Yeah, fast forward.
And only thing I
I gotta cheat it, man. I gotta cheat it.
Good,
All right,
good.
talking NFCBs, over and out.
Over and out.